Valencia's preparing for the 629 migrants' arrival on Sunday. It's after Italy and Malta refused to let them dock last week, which started a political row. 3 ships now travel for several days to get to Spain. At a press conference with the president of the Valencian community, the Deputy Prime Minister, Carmen Calvo, made everything clear.
Crisis humanitaria.
It's a humanitarian crisis. It's a response to our international obligations, to what our Constitution obliges us, and to our fulfillment of our commitments in the field of international law. When such a situation occurs, it's respect for human rights, as well as our obligations towards all people coming to our country. We are a country with experience in the social policy of foster, housing and help. The Spanish government and the Valencia region are coordinating the operations to receive them in a positive way after such a tough time. They will arrive in a phased manner, and all the parties will be involved in the reception, in a respectful way, in a welcoming manner, with a complete response in a physical sense, but also in the psychological sense. When they arrive to the port of Valencia, it has been done in a staggered way to have enough time to give them a healthy response and the legal response.
Over the past few years, immigration population has risen to 4 million in Spain. Immigration rate in 2018 was 28.4. Illegal immigrants have doubled over the past year. There are 3 types of international protections under Spain: conventional asylum for refugees, subsidiary for protection, exceptional protectionary humanitarian reason, and the Spanish policy for regular immigration is basically based on contingent contracts of foreign workers.
Out of all the countries in Europe, France has one of the highest immigrant populations, with nearly 400,000 people immigrating to the country in 2016. That means roughly 1 out of every 1,000 people entering France each year is an immigrant. Most of these immigrants come from northern African countries like Mali, Egypt, and Libya, but also Middle Eastern countries like Syria. 1 out of every 4 people seeking asylum is granted permission to stay. Within 6 months, public agencies help find these refugees a place to work that is free from discrimination and gives them equal access to rights. These agencies also help acclimate them to French culture by teaching them the language and how to become French. France plans on passing new policy that will speed up the procedures for asylum seekers.
There are currently 378,000 immigrants living in France, with 41% of them legally entering the country. France has updated their policies on Syrian refugees. Starting August 1st, 2016, a new law passed accelerating asylum procedures, expediting expulsion, and accelerating successful immigration to France. In 2006, a new law on equal opportunities was created in France. This gave opportunities for immigrants to learn the language and get job opportunities across the country with training. Emmanuel Macron's government is planning on toughening France's immigration policies in the upcoming years.
Misty, moody Stockholm, nicknamed the Venice of the North, is shrouded in promise for those looking for a better life in Europe. There are more asylum seekers per capita here than in any other European country. Search the word asylum in Arabic on your smartphone, and Sweden pops up as a #1 result. This is Masha Detention Centre, north of the Swedish capital. We were given rare access to film here. Sweden is famous for its open-door policy to refugees and for handing them generous benefits. But the recent mass arrival of asylum seekers is forcing Sweden to face uncomfortable decisions about the society it wants and can afford to be.
Thousands of criminal aliens
pouring into our country.
They're not people. These are animals.
Our country will be overrun.
Take a look at the death and destruction that's been caused by people coming into this country.
The death and destruction caused by people that shouldn't be here. These are animals. They're coming into our country.
They're not people. These are animals.
They're animals.
What was the name? Animals.
Otherwise, you have millions and millions of people pouring into our country.
So the Democrats want open borders. Let everybody come in. Let everybody pour in.
You'd have millions of people pouring through our border.
People pouring into our country.
I'm angry when people pour across the border. If we took zero tolerance away, you would be overrun. We will be overrun with crime and with people that should not be in our country.
Violent criminals, criminal illegal aliens, dangerous criminal illegal immigrants, criminal aliens, thousands of criminal aliens.
Something we know is that nothing will stop immigrants from trying to come to America. This is a place that people dream of coming to because people who are trying to make a better, safer life for their families will do anything to achieve that dream. And I know Donald Trump understands this because of this video we found from 15 years ago.
Never, ever give up. Don't give up. Don't allow it to happen. If there's a concrete wall in front of you, go through it, go over it, go around it, but get to the other side of that wall. We're going to build the wall. We have no choice. Build that wall. Build that wall.
The whole debate has just devolved into wall or no wall. Like cave.
It is with the very deepest sense of pride that on behalf of the Anti-Defamation League, I present America's Democratic Legacy Award to the President of the United States, John F. Kennedy. The men who first shaped the democratic legacy that you honor tonight were filled with a sense of excitement and of wonder at the importance of the events in which they were participating. America was to be the great experiment, a testing ground for political liberty, a model for democratic government. And although the first task was to mold a nation on these principles here in this continent, we would also lead the fight against tyranny in all continents. This is a great inheritance. It is a proud privilege to be a citizen of the great republic, to realize that we are the descendants of 40 million people who left other countries, other familiar scenes, to come here to the United States to build a new life, to make a new opportunity for themselves and their children. I think it is not a burden, but a privilege to have the chance to share that great concept among all of our people, to make this really, as it was for them, a new world for us, and indeed for all those who look to us. That is what this organization has stood for 50 years. That's what this country has stood for 200 years, and that's what this country will continue to stand for.